Okay, so great. I think we've got a good number. So we can start now. Welcome everybody to the first event of Google Developer Students Club in the 2021 to 2022 session, which is titled as Orientation Event plus Intro to 30 Days of Google Cloud. Great. So let's see first the today's topics. So first we'll get an overview of what GDSC is. Then we will jump right to Google Cloud and first like explain what is cloud. Then we'll explain what is Google Cloud, and after that we'll explain you the program that is like we're going to start from 27th of September. That is tomorrow. That is 30 days of Google Cloud program, right? And at the end we will have a Q&A session where you guys can ask any and all questions regarding the program, regarding the GDSC or anything else, right? Okay, great. So before we begin, let's know a little bit about you guys. Tell us your interest, like in technology. Like it's not limited technology, but a technical interest. Can you guys put them in the chat? Your technical interest. Hello.
Like, feel free to write it in the chat, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we know that
like
a lot
feel
of you
free.
will
You
have
can
been
write.
working on a lot of stuff, so just feel free to write it down. Yeah, like
Yes.
web development. Yep,
So
web
yeah,
development.
just to be clear, this is going to be a interactive session, kind of a two-way. So you don't have to just listen to us. You can also share your views, your opinions, your interests, everything in the chat. Don't worry.
Yeah, like anything that you feel, you should write it. It doesn't need to be like the famous thing that everybody is doing, like web dev or anything. It could be anything like game development, anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we have like a lot of answers already. Like, people are mostly doing web development, then machine learning, backend development. Okay, that's pretty cool. Competitive programming. Okay, again, a very high intensity thing. Data science, yeah. So yeah, like, we have people who want to explore various domains.
Yeah. Somebody said that every professor says this will be an interactive session. Don't worry, we are not professors. Okay. But if you think like, yeah,
We are basically you guys. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
We are basically you guys, but
proceed.
1 year older. That's it.
But
yeah,
1 year, yeah, but 1 year ahead of you. Yeah.
don't worry. So yeah, I think we've got enough responses. Most of them is web dev, CP, one of them is data science, and one of them is machine learning. Right. That's good. That's good. So yeah. Now I'm gonna ask you some questions that you will have to answer in a yes/no fashion. Okay. I just type yes or no in the chat for all the questions that I'm going to ask first, like next. Okay. So do you want to learn something like XYZ but don't know how to start? Is that something that troubles you as of this point? Okay. We have a lots of yes. Nice.
Yep, because like, even I remember, like, even when I was like just starting out with second year, it was, computer science is such a vast field, right? You don't know where to begin with and how to get started with something that you want to learn, but you know that you want to learn that topic.
Yeah. Okay, great. The next question is, do you at times think that, am I the only one interested in this? Like, let's suppose game development, and you don't see anyone in your class talking about game development. So you might think that, am I the only one interested in this? Will I get no support there? Okay, that's nice. I think you guys already have 1 year pass, so this question, like, the answer should be no for you. Okay, great. last question is, do you guys think that what if I could discuss about something with others? Like, is that something you want? If you're interested in something, you're learning something. Do you want to discuss it with someone else?
And by like someone else, we don't mean your immediate friends, because like
Yeah.
let's face it, we all of us we discuss everything with our friends, right? So friends group mein, like everyone is like at par with each other. What we're talking about is like with a larger community basically, so that
Yes.
you know
Where
you can
people
have an
will.
influence
Yeah.
on others and others can have an influence on you.
Yes, where people that are like more knowledgeable than you in that field, or also people who are like basically starters in that field. Okay. Great. We have lots of yes there here too. So if your answer was yes to any one of those questions or like more than one, then that's precisely what GDSC IIITM has for you. Okay. So in Google Developer Student Clubs of IIITM Gwalior, you will learn latest technologies. You'll make projects in teams or even alone if you want. You will like participate in various contests in various technical fields. The last question that was like to discuss with others. So here you will find like-minded people for any or all field that you want to learn or are interested in. You'll receive guidance here. And the best thing about GDSC IIITM is you get a chance to collaborate and grow with a vast community. Okay? You're not limited to just your friend circle, right? But the question that you might ask, I think it's very confusing for some of them, some of you guys, even right now, is that who can join GDSC IIITM? And the answer is actually literally anybody can join GDSC IIITM. Okay. So we have two platforms actually. One of them is the official website, the chapter page of our institute. So you can join there, uh, and if you join there, you will get like the first updates on all the events, workshops, and newsletters that we have. The second platform that we have is Discord. So it's like this chat, like you all guys know Discord, right? So you can join there to basically interact with your peers and asking and answering questions. Can somebody tell me that how many of you are like already on Discord in the chat, please?
So basically our vision for like the Discord group was that we wanted to make like a forum where you guys could ask questions. Like usually what we do is we would prefer to Google our answers, right? And while that's not bad, uh, like some people might find their answers faster, some people might take a considerably a more amount of time to find the same answer. So let's say you find an answer, what you could do is you could post it in the Discord. So if somebody else has the same problem, they can also like quickly access that answer. So it sort of creates a conducive environment for everyone to like code better.
Yep. So like, yep, you can.
Of
Like
course, you
we
can take
would,
the
One
same.
one thing I want to add to Debatit is that many a times it happens that we actually want to know what's the thing we're going wrong in our code, right? Many a times we know the exact correct answer from the editorials, but we still want to figure it out and scratch our heads to get to know what was something that I was doing wrong. So in situations like these, you can hop into the server and discuss it with your seniors, with your friends, and in fact, the crowd outside our college can also help you out if they would be like if they are in the server, then many a times alumni, what I mean by someone outside the college is our alumni can help you out with the problems you were facing with your code. So that's very interesting thing you get to have enjoy in a Discord server rather than outside editorials and Stack Overflow and the sites like those.
yep.
Think of
So,
GDSC as a community where a community based in your college where everybody can like do anything about related to development. Like you can geek out about stuff, you can ask questions. It is like a free platform for you all about development, about anything related to any field of technology.
Yep. So now the question that you might ask is, if it is here, like what else will we conduct? Like the Discord and the platform is there, but the events that we are going to conduct this session, so there will be hands-on workshops on technologies, okay, like Google Cloud, Firebase, etc. We have Solution Challenge, which is a global event, a global competition where you'll have to solve one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of UN. Okay, we'll conduct expert tech talks, where we will invite the speakers, the industry leaders, and industry experts from outside our college to basically guide you on certain topics. We'll have programs like Explore ML, 30 days off. Then now the latest one that we are here to discuss is 30 days of Google Cloud, right? But there are also many more events like that. UN is United Nations. So like the solution challenge is actually, you can Google it. Can somebody share the link of the solution challenge in the chat? I think they can see it. And the sixth, like one of another event is Android Study Jams. I think you guys already attended that when you entered the college, right? So we also conduct that. And now the question that you might have, that you might ask, is who will manage all these things, right? So that's where actually the core team comes in. So we are a team of around, not around actually, 14 people, right? Which includes me, Devaitya Pal, who is the AIML head, Swarnim Gupta, who is the Android head, Anurag, who is the blockchain head, Sakshi Dhamija, who is the open source head, Sumit Shinde is the technical head, and Nikhil Gupta is the web development head. And then we have the management team here, where Anand is the content head, Harshil and Charith are the design heads, Aditya and Ananya are event heads, and Anamika and Nirupama are marketing heads, right? So the job of this core team is to manage all those events that we discussed just now. Okay, the learning and the interaction and the, what is it? The attendance, it's free and open for everyone, so you all can join and learn.
Also, the events that we like told you right now, we are not confined to those. Fine,
Yep.
like if any one of you feels that this can be done by DSC, or like this is something that I need to learn and it will be beneficial for others, you guys can contact any one of us, and if we think it is feasible and like it is good, then we'll most probably will try to conduct it. We are
Yep.
open to suggestions purely.
Yep. So I think the next topic on our agenda was the Google Cloud, that is the 30 days program. And before learning about the program and the Google Cloud, first we need to learn what cloud is. Okay, but before this, I would like to finish off the overview session of GDSC. So if you have any questions about GDSC, ask now in the chat, because now we'll move on to some technical stuff, the learning stuff that you all came here for, and that's something new for you guys. So yeah, feel free to drop any questions that you have for GDS in the chat right now, and or you can also drop them at the end of the session, where we'll have a Q&A session.
Like if you have any doubt about what DSC will do, how it is different from other clubs which are managing technical stuff as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Will UN events come again? So the UN event that I talked about was the Solution Challenge. It's conducted once every year, and yeah, it will come again in, what do you say, March of next year. Actually, I think March and April. The question is, will we have sessions on web development? Obviously, yeah. So just share your doubts, whatever you are having in the Discord, and if we see that, yeah, this is something, a common problem in, like, between you guys, common like blocker between you guys and learning web development, we'll definitely conduct a session on that to help you.
What if we miss the registration? Okay, so actually there is no registration date as such. Like if you want, you can pretty much go and register yourself right now as well.
Which registration are you talking about?
I guess he's talking about the Google Cloud project then.
Okay, so yeah, if you miss the registration, then I guess like there was a limit, the 50K limit, right? So if you miss the registration, I feel sorry to say, but you lost your chance this year. But don't worry, the 30 days of Google Cloud program happens every year. And there's also this Cloud Ready Facilitator program that happens around the summer, that is uh, May or April next year. That will happen May or April next year. So in there also you'll have to finish the tracks and basically you'll get the goodies. So don't worry, the event, like similar events come here and now. So you will have chances, right? Remembering cloud definition from one of the videos from Whitehead Junior. Oh, don't worry. We are not going to do that here. Okay. So I think we have had the questions. I love to ask. So we move on to what is cloud, right? So the official definition of cloud, okay, if you search like Google Dictionary, is getting things done using someone else's computers. Okay, especially where someone else worries about maintenance, provisioning, system administration, security, networking, failure recover, etc. Right. What does it mean? Well, around 10 or 12 years ago, when cloud was not that much prominent, what people did for hosting a website or a web application was they brought their own computers and basically set up their own data centers in their buildings connected to internet, manage them, the computers, the system and everything, right, by themselves. But then companies like AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure came in the picture, where they said that we are providing you remote access to our computers. We will manage the maintenance, provisioning, system administration, security, etc. And you just have to use our computers to host your web applications to run your tasks. Okay. So that's what basically cloud technology is at this point. And there are actually three different tiers, three major tiers of cloud right now. Okay. There is infrastructure as a service, there is platform as a service, and there is software as a service. Okay, so we'll go through them one by one. Okay, so somebody said that I should be slow a little. Let me just just put in the chat if anything you missed, or if I'm going too fast, or if I'm going too slow. Just put it in the chat. Okay, and I'll definitely repeat that. The goal here is for you guys to learn, so that should be achieved here. Okay. Yeah. So the three major tiers of a cloud service is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, right? So the first tier, that is infrastructure as a service. What is it? Mm, So it basically means that the cloud providers like Google Cloud or AWS or Microsoft Azure, they will provide you with a virtual computer, okay, bare bones computer that is with an operating system. That's it. With the size and capacity that you will demand. Like you can literally go from 1 core CPU and 1 GB RAM to 128 core CPU and a 1 TB RAM. Okay, 1 TB means 1028 GB RAM on cloud. Okay, if you have the money, of course, but yeah, that's the flexibility that cloud provides, and that's all infrastructure, right? So they are basically providing you the hardware, but the software and everything you will have to manage. It's like the most basic level of cloud service. Okay. The second service that we have is PaaS, which is platform as a service. Okay. So in here, what happens is what they say is we are providing you the hardware, right? Now we'll also provide you with a layer of software. Okay, what does that mean? Let's suppose you have a Node.js application, an Express application. Okay, I think everybody learned that in Web month, right? And you want to host that application somewhere. When we go to infrastructure as a service, what it will give us is basically an Ubuntu computer. Okay, and in there we'll have to basically install Node.js, download our application, run the server, connect it to the public internet and everything. In platform as a service, what the cloud service provider will do is that they will basically give you a Node.js runtime where you can just upload your code and that's it. You don't have to worry about deploying it, about scaling it basically. Okay. So one of the major examples of platform as a service is actually Heroku. I think that's what we used when we when we taught you how to deploy a web app, Express app on public internet, right? So Heroku is basically a platform as a service where you give your Node.js code and Heroku will manage the Node.js runtime and everything, right? The third software that we have is software as a service. It's like basically the top tier of a cloud service where it gives you everything from hardware to software, like complete package, where you just have to use it. You don't have to worry about coding or managing it or like looking into bug fixes and everything. And there are many examples of software as a service as of now. The teams that if like the Microsoft Teams on which the event is being conducted, that's a software as a service. A Gmail is a software as a service. Uh, let's say Google Drive is a software as a service, right? So if you want a distinction between software as a service and platform as a service and infrastructure as a service, let's get an example. Let's suppose you want a place where you need to keep your files. Stadia, yeah, Stadia is software as a service, obviously. So let's suppose you want a place where you want to store your files at a remote place. The first and the most developer thing that you will do is you will start creating an application using Express and everything. You will get an Ubuntu VM from, let's say, Google Cloud. You will host that application on Ubuntu VM, and we will store the files on the storage of that virtual machine. Okay, that's infrastructure as a service. In platform as a service, what you'll do is you'll use the services like Heroku or Google Cloud's App Engine to host your Node.js application there, and basically store the files on services like Google Cloud Object Storage. All these services that I'm like taking names of, don't worry about them. You will learn about them later. Okay, that's what the program is for. So in the 30 days that you will be doing the labs and everything, you'll learn a lot about these services like IAS, all three actually. And then, like I explained the past, right? You build the application, you host it on Heroku, and let Heroku take care of the deployment, everything. Yes, Stadia is a SaaS. Okay. Now, the third option, SaaS, in which you'll simply use Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive to host your files. So you can see, right? The use case is same, but it can be achieved by all three options. You will have to choose like what type of complexity do you want and what type of modularity do you want. The most modular option is infrastructure as a service, where you have full control. And the least modular is a software as a service, where you'll have to depend upon the vendors if you want, let's say, a new feature or a change in the feature. Okay. Now, let's suppose I am taking an example here. Uh, let's suppose you are like I am a mobile/web app developer. Okay. And I could ask the question like, how does Google Cloud Platform apply to me? Like, how can I use Google Cloud Platform to develop a mobile/web app? Okay. So here are some of the services that you can use to host an application. These are actually, all of them are actually platform as a service. So the first one is Google Cloud Storage, where you can store like multimedia objects like images, videos, files, etc. It's like basically a bucket where you can throw anything and it will store it. The second is cloud data store or cloud bigtable, where like these are actually NoSQL databases where you can store a large amount of data. Let's say you have a million queries. Okay. And the third thing that about the data is Cloud SQL or Cloud Spanner, which is for like SQL database or NoSQL database. Okay. For application logic, you can use services like App Engine, which is like Heroku, where you can simply put the code of Node.js or Golang or let's say Java, and it will host it for you. Or the container engine, where you can create basically containers for your application, and it will manage the deployment, scaling, and everything. Okay. You can also use integrations that the Google Cloud provides, like Google Maps APIs, YouTube APIs, location APIs, etc. Right. Now I have a question from you guys. Can like if you have used any of these services, or let's say if I go back and say IAS, PAS, and SAS, if you have used any one of them, can you put them in the chat? Like just share with us like what
Whatever
you
you
have
think
used.
that you have ever used.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt, Manish. Like,
no
I think
problem.
I have a little bit of lag, so that I, yeah. So any of it, if you think that if you have used something and if it falls in this any of these categories, feel free to mention it. Like, we want to know that how many of you have ever used something like this. Like, even if you don't know, we'll tell you. Like, we want to know if you have ever used anything like it. Like if you have used, let's say, a hosting platform, so will it be an SaaS, PaaS, or IaaS? Heroku,
Yeah, if
Netlify.
you
Yeah. So
if you
what do
are
you think it is like?
yes, yes.
Karthik, like it would be great if you can also tell us what you think of these platforms, like what Heroku is basically out of these three that we learned. Yeah, Varun Kumar Tiwari, what do you think it is? Come on, guys. Like we can tell you a lot of stories, but you have to like show some response. Only two or three response.
Yes.
Not good. Come on. Like try to identify these and let's say their use cases. Like what these are hosting platforms for backend and web applications. So what are those hosting platforms that I'm asking? Like platform as a service or yeah,
Yes.
Netlify तो हमने वेब मंथ में सिखाया था of course. So what you think Netlify is? I don't know. Like okay, anyone?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Manish, like, are they right? Is Netlify Heroku is a PaaS, like us, a platform as a
Yep.
service?
Yep. True. Because the code, the front end and the back end, you have to manage. You just have to for deploying. You are using Netlify or Heroku, right? So that's why it's a platform as a service.
Yeah,
Because you are still in control of your own code.
yeah. Many of you
I,
might have used Cloudinary or some buckets, storage buckets in your WebKiti projects. So I think those are software as a service.
Yes,
It's
those
like
are
Google
software as
Drive.
a service. Yes.
Yeah.
Cloudinary is a software as a service. Yes.
yeah, like
Okay.
I have a question for the attendees. Like, oh, what do you guys think? What kind of service is Google Cloud or AWS? Like, is it a IaaS or PaaS or a SaaS? You guys can reply in the chat.
Like, what do you think Google Cloud Platform provides us? Like, what it is, not provides us, what it is. Like, what Google Cloud Platform does.
Okay, we are getting
Let's see.
platform as a
We might have
service.
some interesting responses. Yeah, like
See, Varun Kumar Tiwari says all three. Nice.
Yeah. So Varun actually gave the correct answer. It's all three. So all this Google Cloud or Azure or Microsoft, and they have basically expanded their range of services that includes all infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Right. So we have all the options there. Harry is confused. Okay, so like, wait, give us a like 5 minutes. So we'll actually clear the confusion. What kind of services and are there in Google Cloud, and how they relate to these three tiers that we just explained. Okay. But first, let's take an example like, uh, how has cloud impacted the current world? Okay, the current scenario of internet and everything. So you know about YouTube, right? It has 1.9 billion users per month, active users basically. Every day, people watch over a billion hours of video. Okay, like, can somebody tell me how many zeros are there in a billion? That's how many hours, like, of videos that is watched on YouTube every day. Okay, and 300 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. Okay, so we have around 40 minutes have passed in this session only, and 40 into 300, that's around like 12,000 videos have already been uploaded in this session only, right? So can you imagine like what kind of scale the YouTube is hosted at? Prabal, we will answer those questions at the end of the session. Okay. Yes. So let's suppose 1 hour, like 1 hour of stream is 1.1 to 1.5 gigabytes in average. So you can see like 300 hours is around, let's say 600 GBs. Okay. Or 300 GBs at least.
Yeah.
So you can see the
Yeah.
scale, right? And that all is provided by cloud. So it's the
Like
cloud
you just
technology.
visualize the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cloud technology that has made it possible for websites like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram to operate at such large scale that you can't imagine. Okay, you are using it every day, but if you look at the bigger picture, it's very big, right? Like, it's sometimes unfathomable, like how many people are using it right now and how many servers are there in active state processing all those requests coming every millisecond, like millions of requests every millisecond, right? Yeah, true. Cloud growth is greater than population growth. That's true. Okay. So Lowell McAdam, who is the CEO of Verizon. Have you guys heard of Verizon? It's like a Geo of USA. Okay, very big telecom provider. So he quoted that cloud computing is the third wave of the digital revolution. Okay. Now, what does it mean? Okay. So it means that like the first wave of digital revolution was, let's say, when the first computer was made by Charles Babbage, right? The second wave was when the internet was discovered or invented by Tim Berners-Lee. No, I think Tim Berners-Lee invented www, right? But that's where like the internet revolution started. Now the third wave of digital revolution, that is cloud, what it's basically doing is it's making these two last bits, that is computing power and the internet services, scale at a times like 1,000 or a million times more. Okay, and making it accessible to everyone around the world. One major example that I can take is, let's suppose in the past, if you had an ML project and you wanted to train it. Okay, so for training, everybody knows that for like training models in machine learning, you need a very large computing power. And if you didn't have the enough resources in your computer, it will be around 10 or 100 times slow than others, right? But now, thanks to cloud, you can simply train your model in seconds by using GPUs that are worth like thousands of dollars by click of a button. Okay, so that's the power of cloud that you're getting. Okay, nice. So next, we have the program that we have the 30 days of Google Cloud that most of you guys enrolled already. But before that, I want you guys to ask questions about the Google Cloud or cloud platform in general. So put them in the chat, and we'll answer that. Any or like any doubt, no matter how small or how big it is, you can ask us right now. Did everyone like सबको समझ में आ गया गूगल क्लाउड क्या होता है?
ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता भाई.
Come on यार, मतलब तुम लोगों को क्लाउड समझ में आ गया इतने देर में? मैं पहले आता, मुझे नहीं समझ में आता.
Guys, remember that, what can I say? A mute person can never become a singing sensation. You guys will have to talk and you will have to ask questions if you want to like develop yourself. Anyway, I don't guess they have any doubts, Manish. You're a good teacher.
या अगर अभी पूछने में शर्म आ रही है तो we also have Discord and everything. You can ask there. And while you're doing the program of the 30 days, you will have many doubts. By cloud, we can play PUBG even from 1 GB mobile. Yeah, if you have enough internet, you can. Okay. Now,
Yeah, there
Harshit,
are
yes, yes. Go ahead.
there are good cloud computing like gaming startups going on. Like they support you. They provide services for gaming on cloud. Anyway, sorry.
Stadia is one of them. Someone mentioned Stadia. Yeah,
Yes,
you must
Stadia
have
is
a nice internet with a nice latency, like internet with a like very good ping service, like very fast internet. Yeah, in terms of
which
pinging the
cloud
server.
platform is used by working professionals? Okay. So, yeah, Ramesh, let me explain that. Cloud is not something that's limited to working professionals. It's made for everyone. And like the working professionals, like big companies also use Google Cloud, and even you can use Google Cloud. Okay. It's not a problem. There is not a separate service like that's made especially for professionals. At least in case of cloud, everybody like it's made for everyone. It can serve any need or purpose there is. Okay, cloud. Yeah. So if you want to describe cloud, it's basically you're leveraging someone else's computer to do your job. Okay, that's the basic definition of cloud. That the computer is sitting at a remote place kilometers away from you, and you are accessing that computer from the internet using its resources to do your job. What
Suppose
does
you
Google
make an
Cloud get it?
application.
Yeah.
Yeah. First address this, Manish. Then I will.
What does Google Cloud get in return by conducting these events and lending their cloud farms for free? Okay. So Google is a company that I think personally, I'm not saying at behalf of being a DSC lead, but Google is a company that believes in collective learning and growth. Okay. And the second thing is they want to market their product, right? It's obviously their flagship product, right? And they want to market it. And we are the primary target for them because we are the future of software engineering, right? And if we like Google Cloud and if we learn Google Cloud, then obviously after we get the job and we want to lead a project or something, our choice will be Google Cloud, right? Yes, exactly. Prabal gave the concise answer actually that
Yeah.
Google wants us to use their platform in the future, and even now you can use it.
Not, yeah, and also it is very less of that Google wants you to use their platform when they speak of GDSC. They want to like these companies, these big bank companies. They believe in a community, like a good culture and everything like that. Which I personally believe, and so they provide uh, us with these ideas like Google DSC and many more companies have their own investor campus learners programs as well, if I get it right,
Yep.
Manish.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Also, for cloud, I wanted to say one thing. Like, if you want to like visualize what cloud can do in terms of uh, a practical example, which you can relate. I would think that suppose you make an application and you want that application to be available in US. Let's say you want that application to be available by the people of US. So you can't host your servers in India because Indian people are gonna use that service, and if US people try to use that service, they will face high latency, uh, and of course, one server will not be able to like cope up with all the data requirements, all the requirements. Okay, so and you have a less budget. Suppose I'm supposing that you don't have $1 billion in your bank account to like spend on data centers and all. So what you can do is you can use cloud platforms and get a server in US for your application, and you can just duplicate the instances of your servers in the US. So that's one of the basic example that I can think of you in terms of the usage of cloud. Yeah, cloud computing will,
Yeah.
it is enabling. It's not about will enable it. It is enabling IoT services to a greater extent, of
Yep.
course. Yeah.
So somebody asked that RDP equal cloud. So RDP is a part of cloud. So infrastructure as a service where you get the computer, right? So you can access that computer only through technologies like RDP or SSH. But there are also services like data storage, object storage, hosting applications, machine learning training, etc. Okay, so cloud is not just related to RDP. How does it cost? So I'll just put a quote here in the chat. Sorry, I'll just say it actually. Is that you only pay for what you use in cloud. Okay, so let's suppose you're training a model for 30 minutes in cloud. So the only bill that you will generate for yourself is for that 30 minutes. That's it. After that, it's Google's problem, like what will happen to those devices on which your models were being trained. Okay, so that's one of the like most attractive parts of cloud. You can try it at a very low cost. And if you think that it's helping you, then yes. What are the prerequisites? Okay, so I think that's what our next part is. That is an like we will give you information about the 30 days program itself. So I'll ask Harshit to now continue about the program. Harshit.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So about 30 days of Google Cloud program. So Google took a lot of initiatives for students or college students, especially to introduce them with cloud services, especially Google Cloud Platform. And this 30 days of Google Cloud Platform is one of those initiatives. So it started a year back, and this is the second in this series this year. So what is it actually? So here in this program, you have two tracks, and each track is each track comprises of 5 to 6 quests. Inside each quest, there are 5 to 6 labs. So what you do in labs, you are mainly asked to follow the instructions and perform those tasks on a quick lab, or just and then mark the MCQ type questions correctly. So this is the basic. We can sum up with this. Via doing this lab, you are actually applying those learnings on actual Google Cloud platform or using their services. So you are actually gaining hands-on experience over there. So how does what is the duration of this? This is a 30 days long event starting from 27th of September to 27th of October. Uh, Actually, to mention over here, your progress about these lab will be tracked within this duration. Before that, it won't be tracked. So you won't be eligible for any goodies or gifts that you are supposed to receive. You have to start doing labs after 27th of September and complete all the tracks before 27th of October. So each lab might be 45 minutes long, or max to max it might go to 90 minutes in length. So yeah, and at the end of each quest, not the track, not the lab, at the end of each quest you will receive a skill badge. So you can share this skill badge on your LinkedIn profile, so showcase that you have hands-on experience or some introduction to these cloud services. And at the end of this program, via tracking whether you have completed each both tracks or a single track, you will receive goodies. We will be disclosing what are these goodies are. Yeah, Manish, next slide, please.
Harshit, I think we already have disclosed the goodies.
Oh, okay, great. So the actually the goodies are if you are completing only single track, you will be receiving a T-shirt with a name Google on it, and along with the sticker pack. If you are completing both the tracks, the cloud engineering as well as the data science and ML track, you will receive T-shirt, sticker pack, and a bottle, and along with a bag, the laptop bag named Google on it. So yeah, this is the end result. Yeah. So, Manish, could you please change the slide?
Harshit,
Yeah. Yeah. So, what is a skill badge? It is actually basically a small certification about specifically limited to a particular service, and which showcase that you have a little bit introduction to this service. Suppose that you have completed a quest uh, which had the curriculum about basic infrastructural services, like as we discussed various database services, and some of you may know about virtual machines. As Manish mentioned, we can buy a CPU with this much memory. These are all infrastructural basis services. Okay, so if you have completed a quest which covered all these services, you will receive a certification, and which is termed as a badge. You can share it on your LinkedIn profile or in your resume as well. It have a certification number and all that, and it is basically a certification. So how do you earn that skill badge? So specifically, you won't receive any skill badge after completing a single lab. You have to go through each and every lab inside that quest, and at the end of that quest you will have to, we can say, pass the challenge assessment. So the thing to notice over here is that meanwhile all the labs, you will be provided instructions how to complete the lab, and you can do perform all those things. But in the challenge assessment, you won't be receiving an instruction. You will be given a problem statement that you have to do this, and those progress will be tracked by the Google. And and if you do that all those tasks, whether 2 or 3 tasks, then you will be supposed to complete that entire quest. Or again, you will be so Google will claim you as, or you can say you can claim that you have completed the quest only when you will complete the challenge assessment lab. Okay. Manish, next slide. Yeah. So I have mentioned that there are 2 tracks. So the first one is the cloud engineering track, and second one is data science and machine learning track. So in this cloud engineering track, you will be learning about various basic services like compute engine, like buying CPUs and compute power, storage services, cloud functions, and these are all these infrastructural based services. Okay. And second is the data science and machine learning track. So you will be learning about how to use cloud service to perform tasks that are related to data science and machine learning, how to implement SQL query on large data set and all that stuff. One thing to mention over here, I have received a lot of query that having a significant amount of knowledge in data science or machine learning track is not a prerequisite. You will be receiving instructions on the lab, and it is not required that you should have any knowledge in this domain at all. So feel free to attend these labs. You will have all the instructions. Yeah.
yeah. So the labs that you'll do, they are all very self-explanatory, and like there are no prerequisites that you are required to have this kind of knowledge. Okay. If you're a complete beginner, you can definitely, like, even if you're a complete beginner, you can complete those labs. No worries.
Yeah, exactly. So now how to start? I have received a document where the students are not able to find exact. So first of all, let me share my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Just give me a second. Let me share. Is it visible now?
Is it visible to you guys?
It isn't to me, Manish.
Neither to me.
नो सर विजिबल नहीं अभी.
Okay, I guess there is some network issue from my side. I was
Okay,
just going to show you how to get started with this program. So I guess
like Harshit, you can try once again. Till that, Manish, if you can take the doubts in the chat. There are a few doubts in the chat.
Yep. Okay. So let me like start from the top. What are the prerequisites for this 30 days challenge? None. Okay. You don't have any prerequisites for that. You can simply go ahead and start what do you say, doing the labs. Okay. Now, can you explain like in IAS and PAS my difference one more time? Okay. So IAS and PAS my difference is I'll take an example. Let's suppose you have a Node.js application, an Express application that you have to host on the internet, and you use the services like Heroku, right, in the web month, where you just gave your code to Heroku and it deployed your code to the internet and it managed everything, right? So that is actually a platform as a service where you just have the control over your own code and nothing else. Right? You can ask Heroku to increase the size of the like virtual machine on which your application is hosted, or maybe change the operating system and everything. But you cannot change the underlying infrastructure of on which your code is being hosted. Right? You cannot go ahead and change the Ubuntu virtual machine on which your code is hosted, right? Because any application, any web app is actually hosted on a virtual machine and it requires an operating system. Right. So you cannot basically configure that operating system. That is PAS. In IAS, what happens is you get a bare bones computer with the OS of your choice. You can have Windows, Mac, or Ubuntu, like any Linux actually. Ubuntu, Arch Linux, or even your custom ISO image. Okay, and you'll have to manage everything. Okay, apart from managing your own application, you will also have to managing the hosting part, the server configuration, and everything. Right. So that is like through this example, you can see the difference between IAS and PAS. Is it a problem if I activated Quick Labs before 27 September with the code? No, it's not a problem. Like it's supposed to, like you're supposed to activate the Quick Labs before 27 September. You have to redeem that monthly credits. Right.
Yeah, Harshit, it's
Is it
visible right
visible
now.
now?
clearly.
Yes.
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay. Okay. So first off, you can see that these are the tracks. The track one, the cloud engineering track over here. So you are supposed to complete these two tracks in this program. So you will be starting with this first quest. So it will take you to this page. You have to enroll in this. So you are enrolled in this quest. So it will carry you to the first lab of this quest, which is the first lab of this program as well, the A2 of Quick Labs Cloud. So how do we start is just click on Start Lab. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yes, you're audible.
You're audible. Your video is lagging a bit, but it's fine.
Harshit, can you demonstrate it from the email that we received? The Google
Email.
Cloud confirmation email.
Yes,
Yeah.
like claiming the credits
Okay.
and all those steps.
Claiming the credits
I guess
and
yeah, okay, got it. So where you have completed a task till creating the public QClap profile, right? All of them while
Yeah, that
registering.
was
So after
necessary for registration.
yeah, exactly. So after this, you are supposed to just get started with this on. I will share the link as well. In the chat. We will. I will ask the core team to share it with you guys also. You will visit this page over here. You find these two tracks over here. Okay,
I
so
think Harshit,
after
I think
your
what
screen
they
is
are,
lagging.
yeah.
Harshit, your screen is lagging.
Yes. Okay, I guess it won't allow me today to.
Is it okay
So
if I share the
till
email
which
part?
email?
Yeah, because since you are the facilitator, you didn't actually enroll in the program, right?
Right.
So can you just turn off your screen? I'll share the email part at least so that they can know that what they have to do.
Yeah, I have.
I think most of them have already claimed the credits. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you stop your screen?
No, I have done already.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So guys, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So I think this is the email that you all have received, right? Where like after you enroll the program in 2 to 3 days, right? 2 days actually. Can everybody confirm the chat? Okay, great. So in here, like all the instructions are basically, I think, clear. But even if they aren't, what you have to do is like there is this link embedded in the second like instruction. The first one is actually to open an incognito window. Okay, so that's your choice. Like the primary reason why they tell us to open an incognito window is like let's suppose I go to cloud.google.com, right? And I go to console, right? So now the console that opened here, okay, that is actually from my personal, what do you say, account. Now, if I accidentally follow the lab instructions from my personal account, I will get the bill. Okay, you don't want that, right? Quick Labs actually provides you temporary credentials, that is temporary Google accounts for completing your labs. So that's why they say that open this in the, they say, uh, incognito window, right? So I'll just go to this link right here, and it says that enter the code below, right? And the code is in the mail itself. It's unique for everyone. I've already claimed mine, so you don't have to try it by like taking the screenshot and everything if you are trying. So I'll just paste it here. I'll finish the captcha. click submit. Now, the moment you click submit, you will get only one result in this catalog of Google Cloud training. That is a tour of Quick Labs in Google Cloud, right? But before that, you will have to sign in into your Quick Labs account. Okay, so I'll just click on sign in. I click on sign in with Google. And since I'll use the account that was registered by me in this, for this program that I use for this program, right? And now I'll just click on this lab, a tour of Quick Labs in Google Cloud, right? And in here you can see that it says that click on the green start lab, right? And in here let's just see. Yeah. So when you start a lab in Quick Labs, okay. When you start a lab in Quick Labs, you can see it provides us with three things. That is a username, a password, and a GCP project ID. Now the username and password, I think it's pretty clear to you guys that these are basically temporary Google credentials that you can use to try out the Google console, Cloud Console. The GCP project ID is the unique identifier of a Google Cloud project. Okay. Now everything that all the basic stuff about Google Cloud and Quick Labs and the labs itself, those are actually in this first lab only. Like you can see, everything is written here. You just have to read it. I'm not going to explain every bit of this lab. If you have any doubts, put them in Discord or ask us, no problem. But I would still suggest you to go through every line of this first lab at least, so that you get an idea on what you are doing. Okay. So to try out the Google Cloud Console, I can just simply click on this, open Google Cloud Console. It autofills the student the temporary ID that Quick Labs gave me. I click on next. I copy the password here, right? And it basically asks me to accept the terms and conditions and everything. Okay. And yeah, so the Quick Lab IDs, they are, what do you say, restricted IDs. Okay, yeah, you can see that the incognito thing that they suggest, right? They suggest it for a reason. Even though I logged in with the Quick Labs ID, it took me to the Google Cloud Console with my personal ID, right? And if I would have followed the instructions in this lab and I've used the service, like let's say created a virtual machine, then it would have billed me. So that's why they say that use a incognito tab. I'll just change the account here. Okay, I'll agree the terms and conditions. Right. So this is the basically the dashboard of this Google Cloud Console. Right. And in here you can see
Manish, your voice got muffled.
you have Kubernetes engine, you have Cloud Run, that cloud functions, cloud
Manish,
storage,
your voice is unclear.
things like SQL and file storage. So all these services, I think you will learn in this program. So you will.
Hello, Manish.
Okay. Oh, my voice is muffled. Give me a minute. Am I audible now? Clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So in this program, the 30 days program, right? You will be having various labs that will basically teach you and give you a hands-on experience on all these services. And by the end of the 30 days program, I think you'll have around 10, if you complete all the labs, you'll have around 10 skill badges that you can show off on your LinkedIn or your resume if you want to apply for a Google Cloud or any cloud related job or internship or anything. Okay. So in this lab, the first lab that you are going to do, they will not ask you to do anything in the console. They'll just ask you to answer some of the questions that they already explained, like in this reading material. Okay, so just read these materials and answer those questions correctly, right? And after you answer each and every question correctly, you can just simply click on the end lab button. Okay, and when you click on the end lab button uh, and you refresh the page and you click on this my account circle right at the top, you will now get a monthly subscription message here, which means that for a whole month you are allowed to do any lab. Okay, it's not just for like the labs in the program. You are allowed to do any lab, and I think there are a lot of labs in quick labs. Okay, but I would suggest that first finish the labs in the program so that you can claim the goodies. After that, you can use this subscription to like do any other labs if you're interested in learning. Okay, there are like around hundreds of labs here. Yeah, so I think like this is what is this clear now for everyone?
Do you have any doubts on how to claim your free lab? You can do it in your free time. You don't need to do it right now.
Yeah.
I would suggest you should start tomorrow because it's an event from 27 to 27 of September, October. So yeah, do it in your free time. Or do you have any doubts like how to claim and let's start with those fun questions like why cloud and anything like that. Is any of you like
I
thinking
think
about?
there are some slides still remaining. Let's finish those.
Oh, okay. Cool. Got my
Yeah.
bad.
So if you have any, like if you are having any problems regarding the labs or the program itself, you can like your first point of contact should be the Discord channel. That is the hashtag queries channel in Discord, where you can tag us or the core team or Harshit or the Google Cloud facilitator basically regarding the doubt, and we will be there to answer you there. Okay. If you are having any other problems, you can also email to Quick Labs, and their team will also respond like quickly. Like let's suppose you get an bill accidentally, right? So you can email them. Discord link, can somebody share? Okay. So now the only thing remaining for you guys is to get to work. Okay. And reach high, be the best you can be. And if you want any more like cloud training and certifications, you have sites like cloud.google.com/training and cloud.google.com/certification. You can visit those and see like what else is there in terms of Google Cloud. Okay. Now the Q&A session is here. So yeah, it's all about you guys. Ask any questions that you have, and we will be answering them. Put them down. So like there are some questions like in the past 30 minutes. One of them asked like, will we get help for challenge assessment? Yeah, definitely. If you like, if you think that you cannot pass the challenge assessment even after 2 or 3 tries, feel free to reach out to your friends who have completed the assessment. And even if there are none of them, you can definitely what do you say connect to us on Discord, and we will help you to complete that. Okay, no problem. But what level would an individual reach after completing a track? So the level will actually be defined by the skill badges. How to take part in both tracks? Prabal, you are already took part in both tracks when you enrolled in the program. Okay. The goodies you will get will be depending on the number of tracks you will complete. You have access to both tracks. So if you complete both the tracks in that 30 days time, you'll receive the bag and the bottle as extra goodies. And if you finish even one track, then you will like only one track. If you finish, then you'll get just a t-shirt and the stickers. Will we even get badge after taking help? Yes. Yes. They don't know that you are taking help, right? It's pretty obvious. Should be pretty obvious. If not registered, then we will not get credits. Any credits for quick labs will be charged. Yes, there are some quick labs like labs which charge money, which require credits. But don't worry, there are like multiple free labs too, as well as multiple ways to get free quick labs credit. If your student email, you can also get like free quick labs credit with that. So don't worry. So yeah, guys, just like ask questions here. Okay, that's what we are here
Do
for.
any of you have any doubts like why should I learn cloud or anything like that? This was my doubt when I was in my second year, in the beginning of in the end of my second year, and when I joined my first intern, it was pretty obvious that why should I learn cloud? So yeah, if anyone, yeah, Prabal asked it again. Prabal is the most interactive one. Yeah, Manish, can you answer that? Like in terms of an intern perspective, how why one should learn cloud? Like
In terms of intern perspective, I think you guys have a very like attractive like motive there, because the thing is that right now in the current scenario, the number of undergrads, like you are an undergrad, right? Undergraduate. The number of undergrads doing cloud is very less. Okay, and if you get a somewhat good hold on cloud technologies like Google Cloud or AWS, okay, then like you have a like very large opportunities for jobs, and especially interns, like high paying interns, because cloud is a very sensitive topic when it comes to a company's foundations. And if you are the one person who can be like who will be able to handle that, they will definitely pay you more. There are multiple internships regarding cloud, and there is a rare like a scarce number of developers or like people in cloud technologies. So you can do the math there, right? Scope in full time. So whoever asked the guest, okay, uh, there is a survey called Stack Overflow. Like there is a survey by Stack Overflow, the 2021 developer survey. If you go there, the highest paying job, okay, it's not for a web developer or software engineer. It's for a title called SRE. The full form of SRE is actually Site Reliability Engineering. And at this point, the site reliability engineering is 100% cloud. Like the whole infrastructure is there, right? So it is the current highest paying job in the industry. So yeah, you have a like very big scope in full time. If we didn't register, we can participate in this quick labs. You can definitely. Quick labs is open for everyone. The only benefit from registering is the goodies and the free credits. Okay. And as I mentioned previously, there will be multiple programs like this in the future too, where you can enroll and you will get like free credits and goodies. So if you were not able to register this time, don't worry, you will get chance in the future too. How will it help in web dev, Gautam? So like let's suppose you are building a site. What good the site will do if it's not available for the public? Right. So making it available for the public, that's where the Google Cloud comes, or any cloud comes actually.
like I had this issue when I was deploying a server on Heroku. It was like basically triggering a set interval call, and Heroku bans it. By default, Heroku bans on the free tier. Heroku bans any continuous code that is running. Okay, in your code. So there and of course I can't configure Heroku. I had to pay more, but you can get a free instance on let's say DigitalOcean, like a $5 instance on DigitalOcean, and or GCP you get 300 credits, I guess. and you can run up your server, and there you can host your code in a VM, and you won't get any barriers in terms of that. You won't get any barrier put on by these hosting platforms like Heroku or Vercel when you talk about like setting up your own servers in a cloud platform. So I highly recommend that you set up if you can set up your own server on cloud platforms.
Yeah, so setting up your own server in the cloud, that's actually a big part of this program. So in here, you will actually learn like how to create a virtual machine and set up a server for a Node.js application. Okay, the complete process. And in the end, you will have a basically a public IP through which you can access your application. So I think that's a big motive for you guys to learn this, like be part of the program. Any other questions? Like, guys, ask. That's what I'm saying. That like one word, ask, please, because that's how the development will happen in general. I'm not talking about this program only. Like you should be able, like you should be able to ask questions if you want to answer it in the future. Okay, if you want to be capable of answering them in the future, you need to learn how to ask questions. Okay, don't just keep your doubts or your problems to yourself. Any prior knowledge for cloud? No, none of like no prior knowledge is required for this program.
Yeah,
Or overall, like when you go talk about tech, you need to learn like everything you learn from scratch. There is nothing like prerequisite. Anything you can learn from scratch. So like whenever you're exploring anything new, never think about prerequisites or prior knowledge that I don't know this and that. Fine, like Rome was never built in a day, so you have to start somewhere.
So there are around 60 people here. 60, around, I think 50 of them are juniors. So you literally have no questions. Okay.
I think the thing is they might don't know what to ask. Create and manage resources in this
No,
environment.
they might. Like the thing is that, guys, I'm making it like I'll say it bluntly that if you like, no question is dumb. Okay, if you think that whatever doubt I am having, it's very small and it it will like what do you say, ruin my public image or something, don't think that like that. No question in the world is dumb. The one person who thinks like, who doesn't ask question thinking that it's dumb, is like that person is dumb itself. Okay, I think that went wrong. Okay, anyway, ask any question that you have, no matter how small or how big it is. Can you give a
Manish,
recap here?
you have one good question after the recap thing.
What actually is cloud technology, where it store data and all? Okay, nice question. So cloud technology, as I mentioned before, it's basically a service provided by companies, like big companies like let's say Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure, where what they do is they buy like hundreds or thousands of computers by themselves. They have this big data centers all around the world, like AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft all have their data centers in Mumbai and Hyderabad. Okay, and in that data centers there are like multiple computers in a single building. Yeah, that's what server farms are called. Okay, like there are racks of computers there, and those are actually connected to the world through very high speed internet, right? And what they basically provide the service is that they allow us to use those computers for our own purpose by charging some price, and that price is actually per minute or on a per hour basis. What makes this different from collabs for ML? So new guy, the collabs for ML is actually also a service from Google, like Google Cloud itself. Okay, so like in the slide that we shared, we go back, you can see like in the second track you have services like AI platform, pipelines, model management, data lab, right? So these are services from Google Cloud. What they did was they basically, made this a little bit more user friendly and named it Colab. That's it. Internally, it's using only these platforms, like these services. So Colab internally is actually using the pipelines and the BigQuery and the Google Drive also. Okay, so those are all cloud services. Flutter plus cloud plus Flask API. Flutter Trouble is a framework to build cross-platform applications, right? And the applications that are built using Flutter are actually runs on cloud client devices like your mobile browsers, etc. So cloud doesn't come in there. For Flask API, it definitely comes, and you can host your API in Google Cloud. No worries, and people can use them all around the world. Or basically, a Flutter application can use them all around the world. Okay. So, I think there are no more questions. I want to use cloud for my Flutter app. Sure, you can do that. Uh, so let's suppose, no problem actually. I think like there are a lot of inactive people here, so any activity is appreciated. Okay. You can use cloud for your Flutter apps definitely. Let's suppose you want to host your application online for all the world to like visit it. So you can host your application on a, let's say, Google Cloud virtual machine or the App Engine. It will provide you a public IP address, and you can map that IP address to your custom domain. Let's suppose you have a prabal.com. You can say that prabal.com goes to this IP, and that IP belongs to that virtual machine. So if anyone in the world will visit prabal.com, it will basically, your VM will basically serve that web pages from that. Can we complete the whole track in day or two? You are free to try. Okay, but let me tell you something, like each track, it contains around 6 skill badges, and each skill badges contain around 6 labs. Okay, now on an average, a lab takes an hour. So that's 6 into 6, 36. And what do you say? 72-hour labs, right? On an average. Yeah, so 72 hours you have. So now you cannot complete the whole track in a day or two. You can complete the whole track in exactly 3 days if you start from now and finish it 3 days later. Like you don't sleep, eat, and anything. That's why you have a whole month for that, right? Don't worry, you will get a lot of time to finish these 2 tracks. Okay.
One thing I will definitely put here, like when you use cloud, you do pay your attention to some important concepts of the applications as well, like security and all. Like when you use the hosting services, they manage security for you. Like Heroku, they manage the security of the server for you, but you are responsible for it. So you will get to learn some practices that you will get to apply those practices, which you will be applying in your job. Uh, like a big fat company won't be using Heroku, that's for sure. They will be running up their own servers on some instance because that's cost effective. Is my voice cracking, Manish?
No, no.
Hello, hello.
Like it's a little bit cracking, but I think it's understandable. Like,
Oh, okay, okay, cool. So when setting up your server, you will be. I don't know about. I'm not talking about the exact parts in the 30 days of cloud, but you will be going through some basic steps like setting up a DNS server for your domain to connect with your IP and things like that. You will be maintaining security. You will be maintaining containers. So
so
yeah, that's
yeah.
fun stuff to do.
Tanay said that I noticed some time limit in Bigla for 60 minutes. So I said 1 hour. That was average time. Okay, it varies from 45 to 90 minutes actually. Now the time limit that is given in quick labs, it's actually 2 to 3 times more then the actual time you'll have, like you'll take to finish it. So if it's given 45 minutes, it's most likely that you will finish the lab in around 20 or 15 minutes. Okay, so don't worry about that too. And you will have a subscription, so you can try any lab as much like times as you want, right? Okay, so I think nobody is asking any more questions. So yeah, is the challenge assessment okay only one time? Yes, for each skill badge you will have to give the assessment only one time. Yes, you'll have to quiz in the given time limit itself. No, there is no limit. You are getting a subscription, right? So you're not getting a number of credits. Last year we got credits, but this time we're getting a subscription. So you can try any lab as much number of times as you want, and you will get second chances. Like if you are unable to finish a lab in a time, you'll be definitely be like able to finish that lab again, like try that lab again and finish it. Yes, some labs have limit. No, like there are some labs which you have to like create a very high amount of resources. Like let's say there is this Kubernetes lab where in which you will create around let's say 10 virtual machines. Okay, now the price of 10 virtual machines goes beyond $1,000 per month. Okay, so obviously people won't allow you to, what do you say, exercise it in a malicious manner or in a cost ineffective manner. So that's why they limit some of those labs. But don't worry, the instructions are very clear, and you will be like you should be able to finish those labs in time and like in a correct manner. Like the instructions are very self-explanatory. Okay, so I guess we said the thing. Are the tracks same as? Yes. Yes, I think so. Yeah, the tracks are same as previous years. So yeah, so the answers will be available. Okay, I'm not allowed to comment on that. Can anybody else confirm that for me? But if it got few, so the quiz part is actually it's not that you get the answer wrong, then you'll be not able to finish the lab. You can mark all the four options, whichever one is correct, then you can move on. Don't worry. The quiz part is not a requirement. Like you have to just click on one of those four options. If the option you selected is wrong, the just the second option. That's it. I can show you guys.
No, like if they explore, they will understand that the quiz part
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not hard.
yeah, just explore that and just do the first lab. Mark a question as incorrect. The incorrect option, choose the incorrect option in the question. Then choose the correct option. It won't matter.
It is just that if you get all those labs completed, you will definitely get your
The criteria is for to earn the skill badges. So don't worry. If you progress, you will see that some of the assessments are kinda like tricky, and in which they will ask the questions of all the previous labs that you have done in that particular track. So yeah, just explore, just start finishing the labs, and you will understand that what is happening there. Okay.
And don't bother much like about how difficult it will be to finish those. It will be easy that it won't be a university examination, that's for sure. Which you have to like
Any need to take
don't
notes?
take
No,
that.
no. So even if
Okay.
you don't start the lab, all the reading material will be available for you for free for lifetime. Okay. So you don't need to take the notes. You can anytime visit the labs page, and you can like get all the what you say.
Theory
Uh,
part.
yeah, all the knowledge from like all the articles from there itself.
Yeah, so I guess the questions have ended finally. Huh, Manish?
So
Uh,
yeah, so guys, follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and definitely join our Discord and our platform if you want to stay updated and share your knowledge or get knowledge from your peers. Okay.
and like please make sure that you guys are active on the Discord if you have any doubts. Preferred
Yep.
Discord channel.
So we'll make sure to like put some interesting topics of discussions in the respective tech channels like WebDev, ML, and that. We will try to make it as interactive as well. We want your participation as well. So yeah,
So we guys can officially call as an like call it an end, no, Manish?
Yeah, yeah. So, Sakshi, can you end the meeting?
Yeah. So like, before that, thank you guys for joining, and we hope that you guys have a good